You're kind of a preschool teacher on wheels. For the most part, we go to 2 providers a day. When I get to my provider's house, we spend 90 minutes, and it's busy from beginning to end. There's really no downtime, and the kids are so excited to see you.
Okay, that's good. I think they're all ready.
Where are my friends? My day is filled with hugs, and I know that there are little people waiting for me somewhere.
Hello, Teresa. How are you?
Roll call greeting is a really important part of group. That's what brings us together. It signals the start of our group routine. Each child gets to sing how they're feeling, and they can be mad, they can be sad, they can be happy.
She's sleepy and happy and fancy.
They get to express something about themselves.
And we hope that you are too.
Today is Tuesday. What do you think Tuesday? Our daily message is short and sweet. We talk about what day it is, we talk about what we're going to do, so they have a chance to see the letters and to see that those letters form the name of the day of the week. You're going to use a glitter marker on yours, okay? And when I do sign in, I'll take a child and we work through a script where I'm coaching the child to write each letter in their name and to recognize their name as an independent word. Slant forward, pull up. Good job. Ooh, keep going. I see your N and your E. Walkers walking down below will lift their heads and see.
In the repeated read aloud, the tutor or the provider reads the same book 5 days a week, and there's different teaching points for each day of the week.
Hi, purple pansy. We really investigate the same book for 5 days, and that means we can draw out vocabulary, we can draw out the conflict in the story, the problems, the emotions, we can make real-world connections with the kids. What else is in the shopping cart? Bananas.
The research shows that if children have repeated exposure to a book and to vocabulary words, the amount of words that they retain shoots way up.
How fast can you go? How fast can you go?
The purpose for the transitions is twofold. Instead of saying, okay, it's time to line up, you sing a song at the same time every day, and so it gets the kids from one place to the next without even really knowing that that's what they're doing.
Turtle, table. Start the same. Give me 5. All right, go to your table.
But then they also have the explicit skill development, so the kids are singing songs about rhyming, alliteration, letter names, letter sounds.
What did we talk about in our book today? Journaling is a time where we sit together and we use art and words to explore the book. So usually I take a vocabulary word that we've been talking about throughout the week. In the book that we've been using this week, there's a bus. And what does my bus need to go? People. And what's it? So we'll see the word bus. The kids draw their own bus, and then they tell me stories about their buses. And I make sure I write those stories down as they narrate their story. We're gonna look at some pictures and find the ones that sound the same. They rhyme. We do assessments in the fall and winter and spring, so that helps us to see growth. It helps us to really individualize our teaching. Good job, Neve. That was awesome.
The data assessment is very helpful from the Minnesota Reading Corps because you as a provider, you're not really knowing how they're growing without taking assessments. When they didn't know their letters, now they do know their letters. When they couldn't write a word, now they can write a word. So it shows the growth of the children.
We're gonna get our ears ready to listen by singing a chant about words that start the same.
Interventions are scripted based on data. We look at data and decide child by child who needs what. And based on that data, the tutor does a scripted intervention.
Okay, Neve, go. Oh yeah, yo-yo.
The Reading Corps pre-K program has been evaluated recently by an external party, the University of Chicago, and they did as rigorous design as they could.
Vase, hand.
And they found unequivocal, strong, and meaningful evidence that the program really does have a profound impact on students' literacy outcomes.
I've been doing daycare for 15, 16 years, and what I noticed is that the way that I was teaching the children, even though it was good, it wasn't the best, or there was a better way of doing it.
And so you give autonomy and choice within that. You don't overweight it, but you with give both the provider and the member, they get bi-weekly coaching.
Coaching is such a vital part of this whole program, and what my coach is very good at is helping me figure out the answers and figure out the solutions to challenges that I'm having when I'm working with the children.
I know. Can you write my name on it too? Okay, make tea. I like the Minnesota Reading Corps program because they give you hands-on coaching, and so you don't just go and take a class and then come back and put it into practice and wonder if you get it right. They actually come to my home, childcare. They go through it with me, they model it for me, and then they watch me do it. I have the coach and the member, and then they have a integrity check to see that I am doing it correctly. That went well, so I had to go with the assessments.
Good. It's an extraordinary thing, I think, to work with family child care providers. I was a child care center teacher for many years, and I had a lot of bias about family child care providers. I thought of them as babysitters. They're not babysitters. The women I work with are the hardest working women I've ever met. They're some of the most intelligent about child development. I don't know what you're doing with these kids. They're doing a great job.
We put a stake in the ground 10 years ago that we wanted the Reading Corps to reach every child in Minnesota that needed it. You can imagine that if every child care provider in communities had access to this, the whole community would start to feel different.
It's extremely important for the community to be able to see, for one, that children can learn at an extremely early age, and that it can happen right here in our communities, that we don't necessarily have to send our children out to learn, but that it can happen and really thrive here where we live.
It's a ladybug.
It is very important to make sure that each child is ready for kindergarten. We do have the achievement gap, and my hope and my goal and the reality is that with the Minnesota Reading Corps, we are closing that gap. You're welcome. See you in the morning.